Hello and welcome to the Otter's Den. Grab your favorite beverage and snacks, grab a seat, and delve into the known and the unknown. We have shows every other Monday and every other Monday. Let me explain. One Monday, Joni and I discuss the current astrology, how it affects us both on personal, countrywide, and global scales, and then how to navigate through it all to improve our overall quality of life. The next Monday, Jan and Renee join me as we discuss, well, everything. This includes the paranormal, cryptids, psychic abilities, hauntings, attachment, possessions, aliens, abductions, self-help, life coaching, mental health, personal health, and the list goes on. Thank you in advance for joining us. Now, it's time to sit back and enjoy. Hi,
Hi.
how you doing?
Pretty better than you. Better than you.
Yeah, it's a thing right now. Welcome, everybody, to the Otter's Den with your hosts tonight, me, Keith, and Jan. Renee had some prior things she had to take care of, so she won't be joining us this evening. So you just get to see our pretty faces. That's a joke. At least on my part.
I am sharing us out.
Thank you. I was too.
Yeah. That's a thing. That's a thing.
Hey there. How you doing? I don't know if you've noticed, but my voice is a little off tonight. I got out of a little predicament here just a few minutes ago. That's why we were a little late. But hey, I'm a trooper, so here we are. I'm also stubborn.
Keith forgot that it's, Keith forgot that it's summer, not spring nor fall.
Well, if it was spring, I would have bounced. Just saying.
This is true.
Long story short, I fell off a ladder about 9 foot in the air, and I landed on the part of the ladder that sits on the floor right here. And the front part of my larynx touched the back part of my larynx, so it's a little sore. So I sound a little funny tonight, and I may make some funny faces when I swallow. Quit giggling. Quit it. Okay, fine, giggle. Hey, we're gonna try this. I went into shock. I got myself out of shock. Breathing does wonders. Breathing. I assessed my situation. Okay, you can move everything. You're breathing. You're good. Let's calm down. Reassess the situation. Hey, you're still good. Okay, let's do this.
Keith became his own first responder.
I did. My ex-wife Shannon was actually captain of the EMS, so I've had some experience with how to treat a patient, how to get them to calm down, and I use that on myself.
You are so lucky. Because if you were with me, you would have become the patient at every test site.
Hey, Denise, thanks for popping on.
Uh,
I know. Everybody tells me I'm supposed to be careful. What happens when you tell a Scorpio to do something? They won't do it. Even if they already planned on doing it, if you tell them to do it, now I'm not going to do it.
Lisa, we got to look at it from this point. Okay. Keith is short, male, blonde. Enough said.
I love you. Have I told you I love you? I love you, sis.
I just call it as I see it, okay?
But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And Jan reminded me, and sorry, that you have to have a ladder permit, because it's that piece of paper. After you get your ladder training, they give you a certificate of ladder training,
And that piece of paper in your billfold is what keeps you safe on the ladder.
And you have to have your permit. I mean, did you
That's
check
a
in
permit. Yeah,
with
that's
safety?
yeah.
I mean, you have to have your permit. You have to have your PPE. Were you more than 6 feet in the air?
Yes.
Then you need
No.
a fall harness. Let's see.
It's
Did
not
you
fall
have your
yet.
hard hat on with your chin strap?
It's not fall yet,
Okay.
Chris.
You know, I mean, your gloves would have protected you. Your knee pads. Were you wearing composite boots?
I do have steel toe boots.
See, I like composite better than I like steel toe.
Actually, I think they are composite.
Yeah, I like the composite better. Jesse and I learned all about the composite versus like steel toe.
Yeah, they won't cut your toes off as easy.
It kind of just Well, that's what they're supposed to do.
I have my helmet and my shoulder pads. I play foosball.
Lisa, no, have you seen their hard hats with the straps? That's now a requirement. That little strap, that chin strap.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Jesse looks great in it.
Do you know how irritating those are?
Right. And as a mechanic,
it will wear into your chin to the bone.
Well, and as a mechanic, that chin strap's dangerous.
It is. That gets caught on something. Snap your neck.
Yep. And then here in the Southwest, I want to see everybody in a windstorm with their helmets on.
Oh, Jesus.
Or their hard hats. I call them helmets. I'm so used to football. With their hard hats, you know, and the hard hat going, they're all going to look like, you know, Mary Poppins.
Not wrong.
Yeah. Good old neck strain right there.
Yeah, that got me a little bit too. I'm probably going to be hitting the chiropractor tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. It's recommended.
In fact, there's probably...
You know, you can get your Adam's apple pop back into place.
Really?
Oh, that's a thing. My son has a clicking Adam's apple. And it's a thing. You can pop it back into place.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Like, I think 2% of the population has it. And, of course, he has to have it. It's really weird. Cool, but weird.
That is strange.
Yeah. Well, he's a strange one anyways.
Yeah, you know.
He's my child.
I wasn't going to go there. You went there. I wasn't going to.
So, Avelina got a job today on Memorial Day.
Really?
Yeah. Lady at Albertsons asked her if she wanted to help her check out. So
that's
Abby
cool.
had to go behind and check out. Nate is fired from putting groceries in the cart and in a bag. I don't ask. I was not present. I don't know. It's always an adventure with those two.
No.
And I'm so glad that Daddy takes them on those adventures too. So.
Well, at least you two share.
As Nate's looking at me going.
Don't give up on us, people. We'll get to the subject. We will. I'm still trying to get shared out. I'm still trying to get this working.
It's been a day. It's been a weekend.
Yes.
I think I was pretty impressed. It's graduation weekend this weekend, and
Nice.
I went and Memorial Day, so you know it's heavy on the alcohol around here, and stupidity.
No comment.
So I had to go to the ER this weekend, and thank God when I walked in there, it was basically empty. But
Good.
when I left, that's a different story. But yeah. I had a blasted migraine. I haven't had one in 20 years that put me out like that. I don't know what is going on. I know somebody else in the comments who spent today in the emergency room with their significant other with no results.
Oh, good.
I miss you, Renee. So yeah, it's been a weird.
It has, and I know I noticed something, but I'm not going to talk about it on here. Well, I will a minute. You know what I messaged you before we got on here about?
Yes.
When I dropped insulation.
Yes.
Okay. And then I dropped. We'll talk about that later.
There's so many comments that I could go on, but I think, in order to do it properly, I would have to have Jesse sitting right next to me.
I agree. He's half of the comedy team.
He is. Hey, Mimi.
Hey, how you doing? Big hugs. Thanks for popping on.
So it is Memorial Day.
Yes.
Now, everybody says Happy Memorial Day. Memorial Day is not really
There is that.
a joyful.
It's a time to remember those that you've lost, the men and women of the service who gave their lives in pursuit and protection of our country. Whether or not you agree with whatever conflict it was that they passed in, they gave their lives to protect us. They did their job, and we need to respect that. We don't need to respect why they were there or who sent them there, but we need to respect them. Does that make sense?
That's right, because they signed a check with their life. Yeah. Every paycheck is a sacrifice that they're willing to make for this country, yes. Right? And that paycheck is not money; it's their life. Yes. They pay with their life.
Yeah, and the paychecks they do get, as far as I'm concerned, aren't enough.
No. As a military daughter, and I was married to two men in the military. It was a pattern with me. I can say that the money, they don't do it for the money. They do it for a belief.
Yes.
A belief system, and that beliefs and a brotherhood and sisterhood. But it's that camaraderie. It's that family that I don't know. It bonds us forever. I have military sisters that I keep in touch with. A couple of years ago, we had one pass away, and we all came back together, and we remembered our roots, our friendship, and where we came from. A little bit on my background. I know I've talked about it on Adrian and Zach's podcast, because we do the podcast every February for vet suicide awareness. I was 16 and married to a military man. At 17, I was pregnant, and at 18, obviously, I had the baby, and that would be my oldest, Dylan. And living in Hawaii, in the middle of nowhere, ocean, being on an island, the only people that I had were those around me, and that was my military family. But during that time point is when 9/11 happened.
It's still family.
It's family. That's my family.
Sometimes that is more family than your own in certain aspects, and people need to remind themselves of that too. Even your blood family can be toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your military family is not.
No.
No,
we have nobody to rely on, Keith, but each other. I as much as I would love to say, my childhood best friend knew exactly what I was going. Well, actually, they did. My sister would never understand the sacrifices that I made, because when she got old enough, my dad was already out of the military and he was retired, right? So she doesn't remember dad leaving. She never married a military man, so she didn't know what it was like sitting at home 18 years old, knowing that we are going to go to war.
Yeah.
And preparing my husband to go to war, and preparing to be a mom, by myself.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand that. And I know I speak military dependent side, but we give a lot too.
Yeah. And these guys are overseas when their children are being born. They don't get to be there. They miss out on one of the biggest things of their life. That is a sacrifice in itself.
It is. It's a huge sacrifice. Now, nowadays, they try to get them home for the birth of their child. And I appreciate that because that's something I get
Yeah.
the hair because I was there. When I had Dylan, we moved to Colorado Springs, and my husband at the time, who's still, I know I talk about him. He's still one of my dearest friends. He got medically discharged, and I was pregnant with our second child. He got medically discharged, and 72 hours later, his unit went to war. Went overseas, went to Iraq.
Everything happens for a reason.
Right. And so I had friends that were pregnant, and we were there for them. We made sure that they had what they needed.
Yeah, support you.
Right. Even though Travis was out, and we were living the civilian life, which it was hard to adjust, and the guilt that came with that from, I have guilt that Travis didn't go. Travis has guilt that he didn't go. And that made our marriage suffer. Huge. But he was willing to risk it all.
Yeah.
And he wanted to risk it all. He believes in this country, and he believed in the military, and he believes in the people of this country. And my second husband, he was special forces, and I think of him this Memorial Day. He's still with us, but I think about all the soldiers he lost in his command.
Yeah, and think about being in special forces. Okay, that is a step above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
You're going and doing stuff that they don't train the normal military to do. You are putting your life in danger like no other's mother. You're going in to save the lives of the regular military. You are going in, no questions.
First boots on the ground.
Yes.
And that was him, with first boots on the ground.
Yes.
And he,
go ahead.
And somebody in his position, he did 2 years there, and then 6 months back, and then 2 years there.
Yeah.
And he was stop lost, which means he couldn't get out. They needed him, they needed his rank, and that was that. But he lost a lot of men under his command, and women and translators, and the mental anguish I can imagine that he goes through.
The guilt. I can see it. I can feel it. I cannot imagine being the commander of a mission and losing somebody. Whether something went wrong, something didn't go wrong, it doesn't matter. You still lost somebody. Mm-hmm. You've gotten to know this person. You've gotten to be friends with this person. And then there's the facing their family,
survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
And that a lot of that between, and I feel that this is appropriate to talk about, just not in February.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, I get where Scott's coming from. It's not okay.
It in a way, it is okay, because that is
for a reason.
Yes.
It's always for a reason.
That's our natural reaction. But we can learn to heal through that with the help of others. Sometimes.
That's it's very tricky. Psychologically speaking, the survivor's guilt is completely different than, say, you survived a fire and your family didn't, right? This type of survivor's guilt is that you were trained for this. You wait your whole career for this, and then all of a sudden you're told you can't.
Yeah.
No, it goes against every fiber of what you did say for 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, 12 years, however long you were in. And to be told to stand down or have to stand down, or circumstances go in and you're not going, you're rear D, or you have to get out medically, or you're not cleared here, you're not this or that. It's not okay. It's never going to be okay for the military personnel that had to stay back.
Right.
You train as a family, you train as a unit, and it's a deeper bond than what I've ever seen. Sure, you have that football team bond. Sure, you have that brotherhood of a baseball team or something like this. No, this is a team that you train to go die. You train to die. You train to survive. You train.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over and over and over again. It's just, it's different. It's hard to explain.
And part of training, when I don't know if it's still this way or if it was always this way, or if it was just certain drill sergeants that had to use, I don't know. But I do know some people that went into the military. And part of the training was when you got through your basic training, you wrote your death letters ahead of time and handed them in. So they had them to send to your family or hand to your family when that knocked them on that door. I almost went in the Marines out of high school. For a while, I kicked myself in the ass for not doing it. For a while, I kicked myself in the ass for thinking about doing it. I had different issues going on back then. And what kept me from going in, 4 of us were supposed to go. And I backed out last minute. I was promised by the test you got to take.
ASVAB.
I was up there. I was supposed to go in 2 pay ranks higher. I was supposed to get my motor pool, be a mechanic. That's what I was supposed to do. I was promised this. When I went in to sign, oh no. He lied to me. He lied. No, thank you. I ain't cutting my hair for you. See ya. And I walked out.
Scott said it. Right there.
That you're not trained to fight, you are trained to kill. And your whole life you are trained not to kill. And then when you enter the military, you are trained to kill.
How to?
Yes. So that goes against your religion, that goes against your personal beliefs, that goes against everything.
I can't say that because everybody says that joining the military isn't godly. Joining the military is the most godly thing you can do. It's a protection of your people. It's a protection of your beliefs. And Jesus actually says to fight and to stand your ground. So,
He did flip the tables.
That's right. And he did get political, and he did do this, and so Jesus even Jesus says war is necessary. So those that go and preach, oh, this isn't God, like, actually, like, just saying.
If you think about it, it is kind of godlike, because what did God do? He flooded the earth and wiped everybody out.
Yep.
Okay. It's happened a couple times. There's different things that he's done to reset, because we were all messed up according to him. So he's like, you know what? No, I'm done. Poof.
Renee's special ops does change somebody forever.
Yeah.
Forever. They are never the same.
Yeah. And then think about when they get out and they come home, that is their life now. They come home to I got to get a 40-hour-a-week job. I don't get to carry a rifle. I don't know what to do.
Being a civilian now is everything that you were trained not to be. So now you've got to revert back into civilian life. And that's where it gets hairy, right? That's where it gets tricky, is the transition back into civilian life. For me, becoming a civilian, well, I was always obviously, I'm military dependent.
Yes.
So, I mean, civilian, yes. I don't know. I don't believe that military dependents are civilians. We pick up, we move, we fix their lives every 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, we make new friends, we plant new roots, and then 4 years later we pack up and we move again, just to do it all over again. And whatever the government tells us, we do just right along with our spouse, because that's we chose to marry our spouse and we chose to stand by our spouse. So therefore, I feel that I don't know. It's weird. It's just it's. I don't consider any military dependent a civilian, and I'll put big quotation marks around that.
Yeah,
but we got independent contractor. I know
they can't handle it, and so they go back in.
Yep. And that's personally my opinion. That's probably what my ex should have done. My ex should have probably gone back and been a contractor. He really should have. I think he would have adjusted easier. I think he would have his mental health wouldn't have taken such a toll. And that's what I want to get to on Memorial Day. We got to remember those that have passed and give thanks, but we also still have to remember those that are here.
We still have to,
because next Memorial Day, you don't want to be remembering them
right
in the past tense on that Memorial Day. So we have to support our troops.
It's tough.
We absolutely have it. Military families have it hard because their life is based around the soldier. Amen. Absolutely. And when they go back to civilian life, they don't have that anymore, and they're used to doing everything for their soldiers. Yes. And here's the thing about being a military spouse is it is your job to stay home. It is your job to support your family in that way. So your soldier doesn't have anything to worry about. I would never once call up either one of my exes or my dad and be like, I know you're in the middle of a war, but I just had the worst day. And the kids, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Never. That's no. I don't give a shit if the house burned down. He calls, I'm like, hey honey, no, it's great here. No, kids are doing great. Yeah. No, everything's fine.
We're taking care of it.
How are you? You know, I got shit taken care of. Don't worry about it. Bills are paid. The car may be wrecked, but it's paid. You know, I'm not going to sit there and unload on my soldier who's fighting a war. And so then he has to go to the front lines and go, oh my God, that,
they have to know. They have
she's
to know
that,
yeah,
you know,
they have to know that you are okay. In their mind, you have to be okay. His family has to be okay because he has to concentrate on that guy shooting at him, trying to kill him, trying to kill his buddy over here 90 yards away. They're trying to take these people out and survive and get the mission done. That's what they have. That's the only thing they can think about at that time. And that's tough. Yep. And then they come home with no retraining on how to be a civilian. They are automatically expected to jump back into civilian life and be happy with it. And that is one, there's so many reasons, but that's one reason why there are so many military suicides. They just can't take it. They're here, they're there, they're in between. They don't know what to do. They can't find the right help. And they just can't do it anymore. They want some kind of escape for the pain. And that is the only escape they can find that they can think of, because they've tried this, they've tried that. This isn't working. That's not working. What do I do?
And I think Scott might agree with me on this. When you see military suicides and you see military divorces, it's not easy. I'm going to say this on the dependent end. It's not easy for us either, because now I've just lost my sisterhood. Now I've just lost my family. Now I've lost everything that I've known and adjusted my life to, right? So the adjustment for husband and wife coming out of the military is absolutely traumatic. It's very hard to get thrown into this whirlwind. And you have the wife who wants to support her husband, or the husband that wants to support his wife, and they don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how to tell you it's okay, because it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not, no matter what, right?
You see your partner suffering and you don't know how to help them. And that hurts you just as much as it does that. It's crazy. I've seen it.
Right. And they were sitting here. I think a lot has to do, and they've gotten a little bit better about it. I think that there needs to be training on how to re-enter the civilian life.
Yes, I do too.
Whether you are coming back from overseas and you are guard or reserve and you've got to go back into the civilian life, I think that there needs to be a defrag time.
Some therapy.
Just some classes. This is how to socialize. I don't know. I think that there needs to be a better transition from military to civilian, right? Because it's so hard, and not just the military member, but their spouse needs it as well. When we are in the military, we have the FRG, the Family Readiness Group, right? And we're always alert. We're always backing each other. We're always helping each other out. We have a call chain if something goes wrong, right? Okay, living in Hawaii, and I'll explain to you, like, military wives. So you have 2 times a year, and you only get paid once every 2 weeks, and you have that one to 2 pay periods a year where it's stretched out and you're stretching pennies, right? Literally counting pennies for milk, because you don't make enough money in the military to do anything. I don't care if your house is free, because it's not free. It's taken out of your paycheck. I don't give a shit if you think the health care is free. It's taken out of your paycheck. The GI Bill is taken out of your paycheck. And when you look at your base pay, it's shit. Okay. Sure, we get paid for having kids, and we get paid to get married and everything else. But you know what? It's shit peanut pay. Yeah. So here we are. We're counting pennies. And you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to call Mindy. And Mindy's going to call Toby. And Toby's going to call Cherie. And Cherie's going to call Anita. And we're going to get together. And you know what? I have flour. Mindy knows how to make dough. We can make pasta. Okay. And I have this and this and this, so we can make this type of meal. That's what you do as a family in the military. You pull together and you use your resources. Civilian life? Who the fuck am I going to call to do that? I still have a problem with that.
Yeah, me too.
Wow. Don't do that.
Don't do that, Keith. It hurt.
And then I can only imagine the way it is on, say, the guys. Like, I had a real shit day. Well, I'm not going to talk to my coworker.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell is he? He doesn't know what I've been through. He can't relate to me.
Yeah.
So what do you do? And this is where I preach, join your VFW, join your Legion. Ladies, join your auxiliaries. Yeah. Men are now welcome in the auxiliaries. I agree. God's God, I agree. I lived on an E4 max pay for years. And let me tell you, that was a struggle. And we have to pay taxes. Why does the military have to pay taxes? I don't believe that the military should pay taxes, because the taxes pay the military. It just makes no fucking sense to me.
You shouldn't have to pay yourself.
That's the whole reason why we have taxes. Was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I preach, join your VFW, join your Legion, join the auxiliary, get together with these guys. Go learn to fight for yourselves with these guys, because they're the ones on the front lines in the civilian world fighting for your benefits and fighting for better health care, better, better resources, and we do a lot on the front line.
Yeah.
With those three organizations. So please, if you're military and you're listening to this, that VFW just wants you there. That Legion wants you there. That auxiliary for the dependents, they want you there. And do it for those that have passed.
They want to help you, and they want your help.
Have to lose anymore.
Yeah. And before I forget, I just want to throw this out here. I know Memorial Day is about mainly the military, but
no, law enforcement.
Oh, firefighters,
federal agents, okay. Firefighters,
public
EMS.
Service. Okay, but
Coast Guard.
We're supposed to be thankful for them, but you also need to be thankful to yourself. And the reason I say that is because a lot of what we've been talking about, you have gotten through everything that you have ever dealt with in your life in order to get to right now. Mm-hmm. And you need to be thankful for that, and you need to be fucking proud of that. And you need to know that you will get to tomorrow. So be thankful for that knowledge. Be thankful you're still here. Be thankful you have support. Be thankful you have family. Be thankful and grateful for everything in your life. Even if you have lost individuals, you got to know them. You got to know them. You got to experience them. So be grateful for that. I revert back to you. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Memorial Day is just kind of sacred for me. I everybody has their barbecues and they do this and they do that. For me, Memorial Day is I sit down and
it's all right. It's all right.
I lost friends.
Yeah.
I lost brothers.
To a lot of people, Memorial Day is just a paid day off. It's so much more than that. It really is.
It really is. Memorial Day, I just choose to just be.
That's okay.
And we did work in the yard. And I'm thinking as I'm doing work in the yard, thank you for fighting for me. Thank you, because I can have this piece of land. It's still thank you for doing something that I was willing to do, but I couldn't.
One thing my family used to always do is, we'd go down to Grandma and Grandpa's, and we'd all go to the cemeteries and visit all the graves. And I don't do that anymore. Mom's passed on. Grandma and Grandpa's passed on. Sisters live way out of town. Everybody's moved away. And I don't need to go to the grave in order to talk to them anymore. If some people need to do that, that is perfectly okay. But I can talk to them anytime I want. And I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for that. And that has taken one hell of a journey in order for me to get to this point. I know where the graves are. I remember where they are. And if I go to a funeral or something, I may go take a walk past and make sure the grave's doing okay and the headstone's okay. But like I said, I can talk to them anytime I need to. So I don't do that anymore. I don't go put flowers on the graves. And my reason for that is I plant flowers here at my home. I don't cut them and take them for them to die. I have a mum from my grandmother's funeral. That's a really old plant. And I have one from my dad's funeral. I have different plants from different things. And I plant things and I grow things. And some of the knowledge I got to do that came from them. So it's kind of come full circle that in a way they helped me to not have to go to the grave site. And if you're like me, when you go to a graveyard, cemetery, whatever reason, you feel
thank you.
a lot that you had nothing to do with. You feel everybody's feelings that's ever came in. And that's rough. So I would rather just go outside and bend down and smell my flowers that I got from my grandma and my mom and my dad, and just smile and think of it. I'm different. I'm weird. I'm a weird son of a bitch.
No, and this will be the first time I talk about it. I used to every Memorial Day, and I haven't for several years now. I used to pick a service member who passed away, and I would plant a tree in their name.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. That way that they have something.
Yeah.
Or I would go pay for a brick, donate money for a brick.
Yeah.
For the memorials.
Yep. That's good too.
You know, there are certain things that I do, and I did, and I have, and I will again, do for our service members and their families, to honor them. So I don't know if that's an idea for people to do, but you can always go down and donate to the memorials. Neilsville, Wisconsin has a beautiful one, and they have a boot print. And even though we are not together, when my ex passes, I will get a brick for him, because I think it's very important.
Yeah.
We may not speak, we may not talk. I wish him the best, right? But you know, I it's a way to honor.
It is.
Mark, you didn't hear any of that.
Thank you for that. Welcome.
So there's things to do to honor those that have passed, and do it anonymously. So you don't receive the guts and the glory and everything else. You know in your heart that you're paying it forward for that family, right?
Yeah.
That means more. And on Memorial Day, don't remember just the soldier. Remember the family that came with that soldier.
Yes. And Spirit just popped this in my head. If you are walking through a graveyard or cemetery, doesn't matter if it's a Memorial Day or not. If you see coins on a headstone, leave them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a specific reason why those coins are there. The denominations of coins, there is a specific reason that person was a soldier, whether it says so on their headstone or not. Leave it. Leave it.
You know, and I always pay respect when I walk through a graveyard and I see somebody, and Adrian will tell you it probably drives her nuts. But when I see somebody that has military on their headstone, I always stop and say thank you. Perfect. I understand that it's just a dead body and their spirit's not there, but I feel like they can still they know.
They hear you.
You know, I always say thank you, and I'm
they
grateful.
Hear you, and that helps them.
Right.
That might help them enough to cross over. Maybe they're not crossed over yet because they have some issue, And you just telling them thanks, a total stranger telling them thanks, might help them enough to get them to cross over. You don't know.
And I can't preach this enough. Just remember to support the families. Remember.
Yes. What shoes? Even when you get home, leave your house outside your house also. I'm a little confused. I'm from Nebraska, so I don't get confused. I get confused. Okay, thank you. Hey, Mr. York, how you doing?
But remember the families, and not only remember the families that have lost their loved ones and their family members. Remember the soldiers that served with them. Yeah. So if you can, find a family and take them out for dinner and talk about their child, talk about their husband. And they want to talk about it. They want to talk about that person.
They just want to be heard. They might not want any advice. Maybe they just want to be heard. And there's people out there having really bad days today, this weekend. You might walk in the grocery store, smile and say hi to somebody, and they might rip your ass apart. Practice the pause. Take a breath. Just move on. Don't confront them. Just move on.
Oh, Jesse and I, was it last weekend or the weekend before? We went to go get sand for the play box. So we were at one of the home improvement stores.
Yeah.
And Jesse's getting the truck to back it up so that we can get the pallet of sand onto the back of the truck. Oh my goodness. We buy everything in pallets, just about. Well, it was a half a pallet.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, garden soil by the pallet. But a group of vets walked in, okay? Just spunky vets. And you could tell that they were spunky. And I'm standing there and I look like a damn door greeter. Okay, waiting. I'm waiting for the sand to come around the corner to direct it to the truck, right? And one of the guys looked at me. He goes, "Hey, door greeter." I said, "Hey, I like your shirt." And it said something about being a grumpy vet, right? And he goes, "Oh, yeah?" I said, "Yeah, I like it so much, I'm going to take it off of you." He says, "Oh, yeah?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I'm going to wrestle you for your shirt."
Welcome to Walmart.
He's like, "We got a live one here." I'm like, "I'm breathing." But I told those boys, and I call them boys, even though they were like in their 80s, I told those boys, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. You guys are amazing.
And you brightened their day.
Oh, they brightened mine. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, they brightened my day. Like, it was great. It was amazing. Say thank you. Yeah. A lot of times, or just give a nod. You don't even have to say thank you. You just smile.
That's what I do.
And nod. Right. Right. I'll go raid your closet. But just smile and nod. Another one of my favorite things to do is I see a vet out, I'll pay for his meal.
Yeah, if he's behind you.
Yeah. No, like I'll spot him at a table and I'll be like, "Yo, Yessie, we're gonna pay for his meal."
Oh, there you go. Heck yeah.
Like we're gonna get him. And especially like the locals, right? The locals that go to the same restaurant every day, do a running tab. We had a guy that would come into the restaurant all the time up in Cloudcroft, Mr. Louie. And for a short while, I baked pies for the bar and cafe. And I always made sure Mr. Louie had the first slice of pie. And he was my favorite vet. I'd go out there and I get a smack on the butt and I'd give him his pie and he'd just go, "Oh, how much do I owe you?" And I tell him a big fat kiss, and just walk away. But he never paid for a meal. Never paid for a meal. It was just no. You're 90 years old. You served your country. You're not going to pay for a meal.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I will give props out to the womb donor for that. She treats the vets very well.
I don't like to talk to a lot of people, but there's certain times I will allow it, even if I'm uncomfortable with it. And I've mentioned this guy before. I'm going to mention him again. He's a little old farmer, smaller than I am, probably 93 when he came in. He came in, and he had to start in like 1940 and go through his war stories and loss of his wife and everything in order to get to the point he could tell me why he needed that spark plug for that mower today. It was his wife's mower.
It's all her fault.
Get it running for years. And today was the day. And I got to sell him that spark plug. I assisted in that
back in it.
I did. But I also listened to him. But in listening to him, he got to hear everything again too. He got to see all the good things that he did, all the good things she did, as well as I. But that reinforced in him the reason why he's finally getting that mower running for her.
It's lessons.
Yeah.
It's I worked with the elderly. And I worked at the largest vet home in the United States. And I worked lockdown dementia.
Oh,
my favorite. The crabbier and pissier they are, the more I love them. Keith, Shannon. I cannot explain to you.
You don't have to. Shannon, she worked that when I met her. And she would, I got to see her do this. She would crawl under a table and play imaginary jacks with people. She would put herself into their world instead of expecting them to put themselves in our world. And she was amazing at it.
You too,
but
Denise.
It's so rough, when they lose someone. Same with the EMS. When you lose a patient, doctors, it's rough. Again, the guilt. It's just
I had these two guys, and I think I've talked about it before. I know I've told you the story, Keith, and I don't know if I've told the story on here. But lockdown dementia ward, and they wanted to escape so bad. And I wore lime green specifically. If you something about lime green and dementia and Alzheimer's, they remember who you are. So I go walking by them one evening, and they're sundowning, and they're sitting there. One has a raccoon skin hat, and the other one's just sitting in his wheelchair, and they're discussing how they're going to get out. And I pull up my chair and I whip right down and I sit next to them like, how are we going to do this, boys? And they're like, I don't know. We need one of those workers. Hey, Jan, yeah. Do you know one of those workers? Yeah, and guess what I got? And I whipped out my card to get in and out. I'm like, I took it off of one of these guys. I'm like, let's go. Let's go see what's out there. And I slide the fucking card into the door and I let him out and I slide it again, let him out. And we're in the center of the building.
Yeah.
Okay. It's an outdoor garden area and everything else. I'm like, what are we going to do now, boys? Looks like we're trapped. I played into it, and they were military. So, it was all about strategy, how we're going to do this. So then they figured out, okay, this is not the door that we want to go out. We want to go out this door. So that was the actual front door. Okay. So I went over and I slid the card and they went out and I went out with them. Obviously, I'm not going to let them out by myself or by themselves. And I went, shit, boys, we got a wall. how are we going to climb this wall? Like,
when my dad was in Good Sam, they had to put a monitor on him. They still don't know how they did it, but he figured out how to get out of the electronically locked front door without the key card. My old man was a lot of things, but he was a very intelligent mother. But they always knew where to find him. He would be on the way to the A&N bar.
You know, at that point, you just take him to the bar. I know that's controversial, but you know what? They're how old? Let them live the rest of their lives the way that they wanted to. I mean, my great grandfather is laying there on hospice, right? And I can't have bacon. Who the fuck said you can't have bacon? You're 97 years old. You're on your deathbed. You want bacon, motherfucker? I'll go get you some bacon. So you know what he requested? Bacon with vanilla pudding so he could swallow it. He wanted a cigarette. I took that oxygen off of him and willed it out of the room.
I did too.
Lit him up a cigarette.
My granddad, his dad, my dad's dad, wasn't a very nice person. I'm going to leave it there. But one of his scripts when he went in the home was a 6-pack every night. That was to keep him calm enough not to go off on the staff.
On the staff, yep.
He put my dad and his siblings through hell. My grandmother was put into a psych ward because she heard voices. She was not schizophrenic, which what she was diagnosed as. She had gifts. This is where I got them, but I don't know. I finally learned what my dad went through growing up, and that explained a lot to me about his adult behavior. But I still don't know what my grandfather went through in order to make him have the behavior that he had. And anybody that's left on my dad's side has no idea. So I'm really looking forward to some time to look into that, but I don't know how, where, when, why, etc. But when you look at what a person went through, that can explain their current behavior. Which again gets back to what we've been talking about, people coming back from the military. They're not the same. No,
well,
not the same.
No, and that's, working lockdown dementia. That was a unique experience. That was very. I worked both aspects of I worked all over the healthcare field. One of the things that I can say, I don't know if it was harder taking care of the paraplegic that came back from Iraq as a young man, or walking into that lockdown dementia ward.
Yeah.
And then what a lot of people don't understand, or may not know, is that your spouse can go into that same home as you because you served your time, right?
Yeah.
So dealing with some of the wives was very hard.
I'd imagine.
There was a couple of them that were just in that permanent, I just lost him.
Yeah.
And that it was heartbreaking. It was tragic.
Even though that person is still standing in front of them, that person feels that person is lost because that person doesn't recognize them anymore. And that is hard.
Well, it's also the I had one wife who lost her husband in a war. And she had remarried again, another military man, and they both went into the home at the same time. Then she ended up getting worse dementia. than what he had. Oof. And she'd wake up screaming in the middle of the night for her first husband.
Yeah.
And that was heartbreaking. That was so rough. That's why I say always remember the families. Remember the wives, remember the mothers. Don't forget the mothers. You remember the wife. Oh yeah, well he was married to so and so, and you remember the children. But that mother lost her baby.
Mothers, fathers, yeah.
And so remember the parents, because the parents had to bury their child and then had to help with their grandchildren, hopefully, and to deal with that and to come together as a family. So my point for Memorial Day though is remember not only the ones that we lost, but the ones that they left behind. Take care of them, because that's what they would want.
Yeah.
Would want to know that they are their loved ones are still loved and cared for and looked after.
And the ones that are still here that are having issues.
Right.
Yeah. Jan, I would love to chat all night long, but
you got to get some rest.
I'm not feeling the best. So I'm going to cut this a little bit short. I apologize to everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Good.
I think this went well. I think we got a lot of good points out to help people understand some things. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and do this show tonight. But unfortunately, I got to call it a night.
You got to go ice your throat.
I got to go ice something. Yeah, when I was feeling back here, yeah, there's something back there, and I got to go deal with it. So,
you guys have a memory-filled Memorial Day.
Enjoy people while they are still here.
Enjoy your freedom.
That too. Any countries don't have what we have.
That's right.
And there's reasons why we do. Whether you agree with them or not, there are reasons why you do. So.
And you have that right because they died for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
And that, absolutely.
God bless our loved ones who have served.
Yes. So, everybody, if you have served in whatever, military, Air Force, Marines, Army, National Guard, if you are a police officer, if you're a fireman, if you're EMS, if you're a doctor, nurse, I don't give up. Thank you.
Thank you.
For your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for keeping us safe, especially on the full moons.
And thank you for still being here.
Yes. So on that note, I'm going to hit the end stream.
All right. Love you guys where you're at.
Me and Joni will see you next week. I'm sure I know there's a lot still going on up there, so that's going to be a fun-filled conversation. So we will see you then. Good night.
Good night.